Mine.
Let's go.
Okay.
Kristen.
Max.
Welcome back to the CrossFit Kaiserslautern FITCAST.
Thank you.
We want to talk about a very important topic. It ties into recovery, but it's so important that we're doing a whole episode about it. And it is sleep.
Yes. One of my favorite things.
I can tell.
Now that I'm over 30.
Why is sleep so important?
Sleep is where the body recovers and rebuilds from everything you do during the day.
Let me rephrase that. You train during sleeping.
Yes.
While you're sleeping.
Yes.
Yes, you train your muscles while you're sleeping.
Yes, and everything.
Yeah, you set a stimulus during the day in your workout, and your body works with that stimulus overnight.
Yeah. So in other terms, what you're doing during the day is breaking down your muscles, your body, your everything, and sleep is rebuilding all of it. So it's doing a lot of work while you're sleeping to recover and rebuild.
Yeah. What's a good amount of sleep for an adult?
For adults, we should be looking to hit 8+ hours of sleep. 8 to 10 hours, depending on how much of an adult you are.
And how much you work your body.
Yes.
Right? So let's maybe 7+ minimum.
Yeah, I would say minimum 7+. When I used to have a nutritionist, she used to tell me there was no training allowed a day if I got less than 6 hours. Mm-hmm. And she said normally it would be 7, but I used to have sleep issues, so now I get 9.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Cool. We got some questions about how to optimize sleep, which is, and I can relate. It's not always easy to fall asleep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not always easy to put your mind at ease. Mm-hmm. So, any tips and tricks?
There's a ton of things you can do.
Yeah.
We'll go through a few of them.
Yeah.
But one thing I found really helpful for myself is setting a sleep routine. So having a routine at the end of the night that, and again, it's not, I understand people have like things happen where it's not always doable to 100% get your sleep routine in, but hitting things like I'm going to put my phone away 30 minutes before bed and not be on social media so that I can relax my mind and not be overloading it right before I go to bed. Reading a book, 10 to 15 minutes even, or like 2 pages even before you go to bed.
That also ties into removing blue light from...
Yes.
In your nightly routine or from the time before you go to bed. Mm-hmm.
And if you are on your phone, then wearing the blue light glasses, blue light blockers, or something that's helpful. It doesn't get rid of it, but at least it's better if you have to be on your phone, like answering emails or something like that. So in a routine, reading, putting your phone down, making sure you're not eating directly before you go to bed because then you're asking your digestive system to be working. And so your body's putting energy towards that instead of recovering your muscles or whatever. Just a solid routine, something you can stick to it's different for everybody, but like brushing your teeth make sure you do it in order so that your body knows, oh, I'm doing my sleep routine. I'm getting ready for bed. Now I'm ready for bed.
Yeah, that's actually fun fact. I just thought about it. That's actually what we are doing with our little one.
Sleep training for kids.
Yeah, it's all about consistency, and we do the same thing every night. And it works. Yeah.
Because their brain knows, oh, I'm doing these things. That means sleep is coming. Yeah. Bedtime. Yeah. It's the same for adults.
Yeah. It is.
We can sleep train ourselves, and we should do it actually.
Yeah.
And then there's other stuff like adjusting the temperature down.
In the bedroom.
In the bedroom, yes. Not outside. I wish we could do that. Adjust it up a little. Your body naturally drops temperature when you go to bed. So actually, if you take a warm shower before bedtime and you raise your body temperature and then it drops back to normal, that also can get you in that like lower temperature sleep mode. And then lowering the temperature in your room so that your body temperature goes down again, ready for sleep. That being said, I'm one of those people that can't sleep when my feet are cold. And if the room is freezing, my feet are cold. So I like to start, like, I wear socks to bed. And I usually pull them off in the middle of the night, but it helps me fall asleep faster because my feet aren't freezing.
What about sunlight and those type of things, like natural rhythm or natural...
So you want to train yourself sort of to go with the natural, let's say it's part of the circadian rhythm, right, of sleep. So waking up and going to bed with the sunrise and sunset. Obviously, we're not going to go to bed in the wintertime at 4 p.m. when the sun goes down. But doing things like getting outside in the sunlight, so your body has the daylight time and then the nighttime when everything's closed and dark, and that gets you ready for sleep, knowing the difference between daylight and not daylight. And if you're in like super bright lights in the office up until midnight, then your body's not going to know it's not nighttime, so it's not going to feel tired and ready for bed. So getting natural sunlight during the day, making sure it's dark when you're getting ready to go to sleep.
Dark and colder.
And also if you can wake up to natural sunlight, that's awesome. I know some people have to wake up way earlier than that for work or whatever, but if you can wake up to natural sunlight, that's an awesome way to do it too.
Very, very organic, very easy.
And it does wake you up. The sun hits your face.
What about caffeine in the day? Does that affect my sleep?
It does.
Oh, wow.
That's the purpose of caffeine, I think, is to keep us awake. So it takes 6 to 8 hours for your body to fully digest and process caffeine and get rid of it. So if you're drinking caffeine 2 hours before you go to bed and you're wondering why you can't fall asleep at night, you might want to look at that.
Even if you feel like you're not responding to caffeine anymore, if it feels like you can drink pots and pots of coffee and nothing changes, your cells do respond to caffeine.
They do. And also, if you're finding yourself at that point where you're having to drink like 10 cups a day, I highly suggest taking a break from caffeine, because caffeine is actually a drug. And our body responds to it the same way it does drugs, stimulants, where we constantly need more and more and more to get the same fix. So if you're at that point where like 1 cup in the morning or maybe 2 cups in the morning isn't doing it for you anymore, then like we should up that water intake and cut the caffeine back.
Generally speaking, there shouldn't be any caffeine after noon, lunchtime. That brings you to the 6 to 8 hours before bedtime.
Depends on when you go to bed. Obviously. Yes. If you go to bed at 8 p.m., then yes, noon is your cutoff. I can't laugh. I go to bed at 9, so it's fine. I try to stop drinking caffeine 6 to 8 hours before. So depending on your bedtime.
Cool. So now I've done all these things to improve my sleep, but when I go to bed, I can't turn off I cannot turn off the voice in my head.
I have this issue too.
So what I do?
So you can try breathing techniques, the diaphragm breathing, a really good one, and actually they do this in ROMWOD a lot now, recently, is the, what do they call it, box breathing, 5x5, where you inhale for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, exhale for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds. And you could even, if that's too long for you, could even start with like 3 seconds, 4 seconds, as long as it's in, hold, out, hold. And do like 5-6 rounds of it. It brings your focus and attention off of whatever you're thinking about and on that intentional breathing, and then can sort of relax the mind. Deep breathing has like all kinds of good effects.
Actually, the diaphragm touches a nerve when it's active, and when you are fighting or when you are on high alert, you're not breathing with your diaphragm. You're only breathing with chest breathing only. So breathing with your diaphragm, you can trick your body, you can trick your mind into everything is calm, everything is good, calm down, that type of stuff.
Fun fact, they say this works really well for if you can teach your kids like really deep breathing when they're upset or throwing a tantrum. I've seen videos on it, but also know people who would do it too. Yeah. And when their kid's throwing a fit, they say, okay, I'm going to need you to, like, when they can listen, take 3 deep breaths. They do it and the kids are like immediately calm.
Yeah. It does work. I do it almost every night too.
Yeah.
Another way would be autogenic training. So have that, like a voice, a video, obviously not without the screen. Meditation, yeah, that tells you to let your body go, let different body parts go, and that's also something along the lines of you just mentioned it, the intentionality and the mindfulness about it.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be long. Like the 5 rounds of the box breathing takes like, I'm really bad at math. 5, 10, 15, 20. It takes like a couple minutes. That's embarrassing. It takes a few minutes. Yeah. It's not like it has to take an hour at the end of your day. And meditation too, even if you're following like one of the meditation apps or something that you can turn on and then leave off to the side and it turns off automatically. They can be like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you want. And that's super helpful to calm the mind, relax the body.
Also prevents your mind from wandering away.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. What if I want to see how am I doing with my sleep? Because awareness is the first step to improvement.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. So there's a ton of apps you can use. Our favorite that we've used for past nutrition challenges when we were tracking our sleep was Sleep Cycle.
Yep.
And it's on your phone. Yeah, it's a free version. You can even use it, put an alarm on Sleep Cycle, right? So you can use it as your thing and just put your phone. Yeah. The only downside to that is that your phone needs to be like very close to you. Some people don't like that.
But you can put it in. Airplane mode. Yeah. That's what I do.
Yeah. But it has to stay, and for Sleep Cycle, there's a movement setting or a sound setting, so you can like listen to your snores the next morning, or your partner's snores and make them feel bad for keeping you up. So Sleep Cycle is a good one on the phone, and then all the smartwatches have a general tracking. I wouldn't say it's super accurate, but the Apple Watch does it. I know Garmin does it, and then of course there's the Whoop tracker now, and that's probably the best one that's out there that I've seen for tracking all of the things that are happening in your sleep, and it goes super
your resting heart rates and
heart rate variability. It even tells you how long it took you to fall asleep. It tells you how long you were in bed compared to the time you were actually asleep for,
and how long you were spending in REM sleep and
deep
all those
sleep.
Deep sleep. Yeah.
Shows you how many disturbances you had.
So if you really want to geek out on the awareness of sleep, that would be a good.
That's a paid membership though.
Yes.
And it's the other ones. Well, I mean, if you have a Garmin or an Apple, of course you can use that. And then the Sleep Cycle is free app on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's wrap it up here. Sleep, super, super important. Awareness is the first step to improvement. And try to follow those tips and tricks we just gave you for a good night time routine.
Yeah.
And let us know how you're doing. Yeah?
Yeah. I'd love to, if you have like sleep trackers and stuff, I'd love to look at your charts. Tell me more. I love geeking out on this stuff.
Cool. We see you guys next time. As always, we appreciate a like and subscribe. Have a good day.
Cheers.